Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joe Fernandez. For my section today, I will be going over some links to online resources that we hope will help support you as you prepare to help support your fellow teachers, families, and students with distance learning for the upcoming school year 2020-2021. First, I would like to start off with exercise and activities. With the current pandemic, parents and students are home more than ever. Since we shut down the schools in March, families were forced to stay home and shelter in place to help minimize the spread of COVID-19. With that said, staying active is important for our physical and mental health. Within this slide, you have a link that will take you to a page that contains a variety of fun and engaging activities. If you click on the link, it'll bring you to the Rising New York Roadrunners website, which provides resources for families, which includes an activity tracker, this activity tracker is great for keeping track of your students' progress while supporting them with distance learning. The website also includes exercise activities, which students can do individually or with their families, and they're great for students of all ages. Here's an example of individual kids grades 6 to 12. There are several indoor and outdoor activities that students can do at home. Additionally, there are full PE lesson videos that you can share with your students while you're supporting them with distance learning. On the next slide, I will share a few examples. Staying active is important for our physical and mental health. Here are some activities from our Rising New York Roadrunners curriculum that you can do individually or as family to keep active while engaging with distance learning. The exercise activities are great for students K to 12, so it's great for all ages, like I mentioned earlier. I'm going to share one of the activities, which is body weight strength training. What's great about these activities is that it has instructions and visuals to help the students with exercises. The activities also require little to no equipment, and the lessons are downloadable. Some of the activities also come with instructional videos to assist you with the lessons. For example, the body weight strength training includes an instructional video. I'm going to show you a short sample of it.
Okay guys, it's important while we're exercising at home to make sure that we keep our core, our arms, and our legs strong. So I'm going to show you 4 exercises we can do together, but when we're done, you should do these another time, and maybe even 3 times to create a circuit. Okay guys, our first exercise is push-ups. Place your hands on the ground slightly wider than shoulder width, with your arms extended straight. Fully extend the legs out, coming up onto your toes, distributing your weight evenly from your hands to your feet. Keep your head, neck, and back and core straight and stable. Lower your body, bending the elbows to about 90 degrees, and then push your body back up to the starting position and repeat. Our second exercise is squats. Stand with your feet facing forward, toes pointed out slightly shoulder width or slightly wider apart. Bend your knees and lower your body until your thighs are parallel with the ground. Remember to keep looking forward, your shoulders back, chest out, and your back flat. Extend the arms out in front if it helps with your balance. Stand back up and repeat. The third exercise is a plank. Place your elbows directly under your shoulders and forearms straight forward. Align your shoulders with your hips and your ankles. Your legs are extended out. Lift your body up, evenly distributing weight from the forearms to the toes. Your body should be held in a straight line as if there's a string running straight from your head to your feet. Okay, you guys are doing great. Our last exercise is lunges. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart, toes and knees pointing forward. Keep the back straight and the shoulders over the hips. Step 2 to 3 feet forward with one foot and lower into a lunge position with the front knee bent at about 90 degrees. And the back knee should bend about 90 degrees to a 120 degree angle. Keep the front knee over the ankle, not the toes. If the knee is too far forward, slide the hips back. Do not let your hips or torso twist or drop to one side. Hold for 1 or 2 seconds. Push off your front foot to return to the standing position and repeat with the opposite foot. Looking strong.
Again, that was just a little sample of the instructional videos that are included on the website. The last thing I want to share with you is the activity tracker. Again, like I mentioned earlier on the previous slide, the activity tracker could be a tool that you can use with your students to help keep track of their activities for the week. For our next slide, we will be sharing ways families can help their high school learners engage in educational games. A family who plays together stays together. Because many of our families are going to be home because of the pandemic, we highly encourage families to engage in educational games together, whether it be hands-on activities or online games. We will let you decide, but we highly encourage that the games are educational and meaningful learning experiences. Within this slide, there's a link for parents and students to play educational games dealing with civics. We're not saying these are the only educational games to play, but we just wanted to share a free link to free games. Let's click on the link below. So now we are on the iCivic Games website. As you can see, the website has games to support upper elementary students, middle school and high school students, and as well as our English language learner students. There are about 20 games on this website. Let's take a look at a few of the games. Okay, so we have games from Activate, Argument Wars, Branches of Power, Cast Your Vote, and so on and so forth. So there's about 20 games here. Let's go ahead and look at a little sample. Let's go look at a sample of the game. Let's look at Branches of Power. I'm going to click play. Again, keep in mind you may need to create an account, a login name and password, username and password. You may have to register, but for now I'm just going to press no thanks. Click on new game.
Tap each image to learn how to play Branches of Power. Each turn gives you a chance to control one branch of government. Take actions to move your bills through the entire legislative process. As you develop your bills into laws, the public support for them will grow. When a law passes judicial review, the public support for that law turns into approval of your government. Guide as many laws through judicial review as you can before the game ends. Who will lead your government? Select a character to lead each branch.
Again, we just wanted to show you a quick look at what to expect when going through the website of Free Civics Games. On this slide, we wanted to share a parental link. Within this slide, you will find a link with invaluable parental help within our current pandemic. The link provides information about the coronavirus that parents can share with their child. It also provides resources, links, and websites that may be helpful for parents when setting up and doing distance learning at the homes. I want to just go over a few things from the link provided. The great thing about this link as well is it is constantly being updated, so teachers and parents can always revisit this site to preview new information. Let's click on the link below. Now we are at the Home Learning UK website. On this website, we have 5 tabs: Home, Thinking, Plans, Parents, and more. I just want to share a few things that I found very interesting, and I felt it would be very useful for teachers to share with their colleagues or with their parents and guardians and their students to help support them through distance learning. Now, I'm not going to go over all the links and resources that are in this website because we'll be here all day. I'm just going to go over a few things that I found very helpful and that I felt would be helpful for all of you. So I'm just going to share a few things. So under Home, there's a report on how educators and parents are supporting students learning during COVID-19. So if you click on the report, it gives you a lot of information. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the table of contents. So if you go to the table of contents, you can find out what's inside and what you would like to learn about on protecting learning and supporting educators, parents, and students during COVID-19. Under Thinking, again, there's a lot of useful information. There's one resource in particular I would like to share, and that's the Home Learning Strategy from the OGA Trust by Ben Barnes. So I'm going to click on this link, and it'll bring me to a Google Doc. And this is called the OGAT Home Learning Strategy: 4 Steps to Preparing for School Closure Due to COVID-19. Now, it gives you 4 steps, starting with Step 1, ensuring access for all students. Step 2, creating high-quality resources for home learning. Step 3, support staff in implementation. And Step 4, communicating with students and parents. As I read through this Google Doc, I discovered these links that were placed into the document. And as I started to explore, I found some useful information that'll help support families through distance learning. So under Step 2, creating high-quality resources for home learning, if you look for the words highlighted in blue, with the words here highlighted in blue, If you click on it, it'll either bring you to a slideshow or another link with helpful information. So in this case, we have this slideshow, Distance Learning Strategies. I'm going to go ahead and open it up for you, and I want to share it with you because I felt that this was very good information to assist teachers with learning how to use the Google Suites to help support their Google Classroom. So again, here's a slideshow called Distance Learning Strategies with Google Suites. I'm just going to quickly go through this slideshow with you just to show you what it entails. So on the next slide, it talks about interactive docs. So it shows you how useful Google Docs can be in creating interactive docs and for your students. On this slide, it talks about Google Slides. It teaches teachers how to chunk content. It explains to teachers that oftentimes you need a pause to check for understanding. And it lets teachers know that you need to frequently assess student learning. And if you see in the bullets here, it gives you things, it shares with you Google tools that you can use to assess student learning. In this case, Google Forms for quizzes, slides for question and answer activities, Google Classroom discussions, putting assignments on Google Classroom, talks about Google Forms and quizzes, how you can create quizzes on Google Forms. You can put videos, you can embed videos into Google Forms. Assigning assignments in Google Classroom. Just give you some information on how you can use Google Classroom. Google Meet, why recording a meet is important. Then it just gives you a summary, key summary points of the entire slideshow. As I was exploring through this slideshow, I found an interesting link, another link. And when I clicked on it, it brought me to a Google for Education Teacher Center. Now, as I dove into this site, I found that teachers can educate themselves about the Google Suites and all the Google tools that are in the Google Suites. You can actually do an online training. So if you click on training, you can do a fundamentals training or an advanced training. And if you wanted to learn about all the Google tools, you can learn about Google Slides, Google Docs, Google Classroom, Google Forms, Jamboard, First Day of Expeditions, Google Meets, First Day of Google Sites, Google Sheets, and so on and so forth. So what I liked about this section, if you wanted to learn about, say, Google Slides, if you click on Google Slides and you don't know anything about Google Slides, you can click on this section and you can learn about Google Slides. So let's check it out. First day of Google Slides. Well, welcome to your first day of Google Slides. So it gives you a full video tutorial on how to get started with Google Slides. And what I liked about this section is it also has more slides, slick slides, tips and tricks, and different ways. You have the Teacher's Lounge, how to add audio to Google Slides, linking a slide presentation with Google Slides. So you have all these tutorials to help you. If you click on them, you can check it out, and you'll learn more about Google Slides. Let me just give you a quick example.
Welcome back to EDU at 90. On today's episode, we'll be focusing on unique ways that educators use Google Slides in their classrooms.
That's right. Any educator can tell you the importance of creativity and innovation for engaging students. So, we asked you for the best tips and tricks for using Google Slides to transform your lessons. Let's check out a few of our favorites.
Slides are a flexible tool, and Emma Cottier and her students have taken them to the next level by creating stop-motion animations. To do this, they create a series of slides where the items are slightly moved each time in order to show a small animation. After creating their slides, they publish them to the web and adjust the URL delay loop.
Over the course of a unit, you might use several slide presentations with your students. Alice Keeler keeps things orderly with her students by taking advantage of the fact that each slide has a unique URL. This means when she or her students need to reference a certain slide, they can share the link and avoid confusion. Slides can also be leveraged as a tool for developing newsletters, since the elements of a slide can easily be manipulated and arranged. Jeremy McBrayer does this for his parent newsletter, and you can too. In Slides, choose File, then Page Setup, Custom, and then set the dimensions to 8.5 by 11 for a customizable space that can be easily printed, shared, or embedded. Ali Schultz and her students use Slides for creative projects too. They've recently used Google Slides to create digital storybooks and then use Google Cast for Education, or Chrome extensions, to screencast the slides for a read-aloud activity.
Interactivity is key for engaging students, and Lindsay Shields uses Slides as a base for creating interactive lessons. She embeds videos and GIFs, adds in hyperlinks to websites, and more. Her students then answer critical thinking questions on the slides and share them back with her.
That's it for this round of tips. In the comments below, let us know your favorite ways to use Google Slides in the classroom.
Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time for more EDU at 90.
Be sure to check out our last episode for more Chromebook shortcuts from educators around the world.
You know what I like about it too? It gives you other tutorials that you can check out to help you learn more about Google Slides. So again, if you want to learn about the Google tools, you can check it out here. Anything you click on, it'll give you information about the different tools that you can use to help support distance learning. If you've never used the Google tools before, you can always check this out and learn more about it, and you can teach yourself. There's also a fundamentals training section that you can take on your own. So if you click on the training, it'll bring you, I kind of started it already, but it'll take you to the different training topics, like the first one, getting ready to use technology in the classroom, expand your access to help and learning. So there are different sections that you can start on. I'm going to go ahead and click on getting ready to use technology, because this is something that I kind of started already, and I just wanted to share it with you real quickly. So I kind of started my own training, and it'll tell you what you're going to learn, what products they'll cover, what skills you would need. You go to this arrow right here, next. Again, talk about getting started with technology. It tells you how long the lesson will be. So the title is Explore the Benefits of the Digital Classroom and Encourage 21st Century Work Habits. So again, the lesson's probably 23 minutes long. So you have to read everything, give you some questions, and they'll also give you a little quiz to take before you can move on to the next set of lessons. And what's great about this is you'll learn about the different tools in the Google Suites. I just wanted to share a real quick video with you. This video hopefully will help calm everybody's anxiety and nerves on infusing technology into education. You know, we all learn. We're all at different levels with using technology with education, but that's okay. If we work together, we'll get better and better every day and in how to use technology in the classroom. So I just want to share this quick video with you. This was very motivating.
We get to put professional tools in the hands of our students. More and more professions use computers and technology. To prepare students for a connected, technology-rich world, our schools should do their best to give them practice in that environment.
The opportunities for collaborating with peers or even experts are endless. Students in my school produce a live weekly tech help show called the Tech Sherpas that connect them with resources and experts outside with other student groups around the world. We share our expertise and we learn from those students that are doing really innovative projects. I mean, when I started teaching, these opportunities didn't even exist. Access to the internet opens up a whole world of information to my students. I mean, we don't have that unanswered question in my class anymore. When a student asks a question that we're not sure the answer to, they'll just dive right in to go find it on their own. Just being connected to the internet allows my kids to go pursue their passions like they never have been able to before.
Being connected to the internet isn't just about having access to information. It's about having access to people. One of my students wanted to hear from the author of his favorite book. With just a little searching, we found the author's contact information and we connected with her. Our students were really excited to hear from her, and she was excited to talk with us about her writing process. That's the type of direct access to real-world experts that just wasn't possible before we got computers.
I would encourage teachers to take risks and not worry about getting it right the first time. There are lots of learning opportunities that can come from failure. You are modeling for students what it means to be a learner and how adult learners can problem solve and learn from mistakes. Kids need to see that.
I think we have to get comfortable with not knowing everything that there is to know about the technology. We as teachers are professional facilitators of learning. We aren't necessarily tech whizzes. If your pedagogy is solid and you know the learning targets and how to get your students there, then you can let the students help sort out the tech. They'll actually really enjoy the problem solving.
So that was a quick video I just wanted to share, and I hope that will help with the anxiety that we're all going through as teachers in leveraging technology and infusing it into the curriculum. I hope that that helped lower the anxiety as we move on with this journey to get better at using technology in education. Like how I mentioned earlier, you can continue with the training. You'll take quizzes and you'll learn more about Google tools for the digital classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and click to next. I just want to show you a sample. So here, getting familiar with the Google tools for the digital classroom. So it introduces you to the Google for Education tools. And it talks about Google Classroom, Google Drive, the Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Forms. It tells you what they are and what they do and what they're good for. Google Slides, Google Drawings, Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Meet, Google Slides, Google Groups. And since we all have a GDOE email, we all have access to the Google Suite, so we might as well take advantage of what we already have as a department and use those tools that are readily available to us to help support students through distance learning. Selecting the right tools. Again, down here, if you click on any of these, it'll give you information of what the Google tools are and what they're good to be, what they can be used for, and how you can use them. So again, you know, you can be in charge of your own training by going and visiting this site, and it's all in there in that parental link. I'm going to go ahead and go back to that Google Doc that I shared with you earlier because I wanted to share something with you. So again, what I just shared with you, I found in the step 2, creating high quality resources for home learning. And I just clicked right here on this word highlighted in blue where it says here. That brought me to the distance learning strategies slide with G Suites. I want to share a couple more things, and it's step 4, communicating with students and parents. Here they embedded 2 other links, and I just want to share it with you because it might be a good resource for you to use to help help yourself and also help your colleagues and your parents and students with distance learning. So I'm going to go ahead and click right here on the first link. It's going to bring me to another slideshow. This is called the Home Learning Resource. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And here we go. There's a slideshow made already. In case your families are having issues with, for example, how to log on to their email, how to access their classroom, how to view outstanding work, how to ask for help, how to use the Google tools on mobile devices. So right here you have slides that are created for you. And I'm just going to go through it quickly just to show you what it has. So say your students are having a hard time logging on to their email account. This kind of gives parents and yourself or the students instructions on how to access their email. If they're having issues with how to access work on their Google Classroom or even how to get to the Google Classroom, it gives them instructions here step by step on what to click on to access their classroom. If they want to view their work, it shows them what to do. Click on the hamburger on top, 3 lines, click on it, and you can find your assignments. Again, students and parents may need this help. Teachers may need this help. If students want to ask for help, it shows them how they can type in a comment or ask a question to their teacher through Google Classroom. This site shows them where they can access the Google apps or Google tools for their mobile devices. Again, just another slideshow to help parents with distance learning. Again, on step 4, communicating with students and parents, there is another link right here that I found that could be useful for teachers. Okay, so you have the OGAT home learning. What I liked about this section is there are different videos and tutorials here. For example, how to sign in to Google Suites, viewing work to be completed. So these are videos you can share with your parents to help them in supporting them through distance learning. How to hand in work, asking for help when working at home. So let's go on to, for example, how to sign into Google Suite.
Welcome to this tutorial on how to get signed into G Suite. G Suite will give you access to Google Classroom, Google Drive and all Google Docs free of charge. The first thing you need to do is go to google.com. At the top right hand side you should have a sign in button. If instead of having a sign in button you have a circle or a picture, if you click on that and make sure you sign out of all other accounts. If you click sign in, and then you type in your S number. All students in Outward will have a username that starts with S, followed by a 5-digit number, followed by @ followed by student, followed by dot, followed by outward.com. These have all been distributed to students in the academies. And then click next. They then need to type in their password. Once again, this will have all been distributed to them in their academies. And then click next. Once signed in, on the right hand side at the top you'll have this 3x3 grid known as the waffle. This will give you access to Google Classroom and all the different Google apps that you're allowed to use. You also have access to student Gmail. This is very much locked down. However, if you go into Gmail, when work has been assigned or completed, you will have an email to tell you that it exists. Also, if a teacher has given you feedback on your work, you will get an email to tell you so in your inbox. This is how you sign in to G Suite so you can access work from home.
So again, you have videos to share with your parents to help support them if they have any questions about how to access the Google tools or the Google apps. So I just wanted to share that with you. Let's move on to our next slide. Here we have direct links to some of the resources that I just shared with you earlier, because there's a lot of information in the parental link that we just wanted to pull out some of the important online resources that will help you support distance learning. So here's 3 of them: the distance learning strategies with the Google Suites, getting started with Google for Education, and the home learning resources. So these are some of the resources that I went over with you earlier on the previous slide. Before we end, this pandemic has really changed the lives for everyone in the world. Before we conclude with the webinar, I would like to share a quote by Giver Tully, which is, "Persistence and resilience only come from having been given the chance to work through difficult problems." I want everyone to remember that we are all in this together. We will work together to overcome any barriers that may come our way as we work towards supporting and educating our students and our families through distance learning. So relax, stay calm, stay safe, and stay positive. I hope that you enjoyed this module and that you took away something from this presentation. I want you to click on any of the above photos, which will take you to a short Google form quiz. Use your current GDOE email address to access the Google quiz. Don't worry, it's not too hard, and your data is, of course, a valuable source of information, which will assist us to help you guys with instruction and teaching within these times of uncertainty. However, don't worry so much, because everything will come together. And thank you for attending Module 4. Have a nice day and stay safe. We'll get through this together even when we're apart. Please click on the evaluation link and provide us your feedback. Thank you.